So Meta stock reports earnings today after the market closes. It's going to be in about 1 hour from now, but let's go ahead and talk about the market's expectation for Meta earnings and also look at the previous 3 or 4 quarterly earning reports that Meta has had. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. I really hope that you learned something new. And again, I do want to remind you, I will be live streaming the Meta earnings for free on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you turn on your post notifications. If not, YouTube will not notify you that I'm going live. With that being said, Meta as of right now is selling off. It's down 3.83% on the day. What are the expectations for today, October 25th? October 25th, the earnings per share are expected to be $3.64 per share, which is significantly more than any of the previous quarterly earning reports that it's reported in the past. The revenue is expected to be $33.57 billion. Now, this is good to understand market's expectation based off of what is reported and then how the market will react, right? I do want to remind you that even though it does beat expectation, just like Google did yesterday, the stock itself could still sell off if there's a specific area in which it lacked. I do want to remind you that Meta just recently released their Ray-Ban, what do you call them? Goggles or glasses, and their collab with Ray-Bans. They also recently were able to offer the verification badge, right? And they made a significant amount of money. I want to see how this influences and if it exceeds expectation for other avenues of revenue that were not already explored, right? With that being said, let's look at previous quarterly earning reports for Meta. All you have to do, this is the Webull trading application. It is free and available to anyone in the US, and it's the 5th link in the description down below. If you want to download this platform, it's free. They are offering you up to 12 free stocks, 12 free shares just by signing up right now if you use my link, and it's the 5th link in the description down below. And again, I do want to remind you, you can have more than one trading application, especially if you're tired of your old and outdated one. But as you can see here on the day chart, I can go back to every previous quarterly earning report, and I like to look at, hey, did the market go up or did the market go down when it reported earnings? Now, this doesn't mean that it has to repeat that same process, but we can see that Meta has been on a green streak recently, right? After its big gap down, this is when Meta reported that it was going to offer the metaverse, right? And it's going to transition from Facebook to Meta. We saw a significant drop, one of the biggest drops in market cap valuation in history. We saw a big drop and it went on a red streak. Lower lows, lower highs. Everyone thought Meta was done. Meta's too big of a platform and it's so cash rich. We began to see a transition early 2023, kind of like everything else, right? Meta began to pick up, went from lows of $88 all the way to highs of $325. Wow, what a return. If you look at previous quarterly earning reports, if we look at the previous 3, right? It reported earnings, boom, gap up, but then it corrects itself. Note that. Next quarterly earning reports, boom, gaps up and then pulls back a little bit and then continues this uptrend rally. The most recent previously quarterly earning reports, right? We came from a nice rally. We pulled on back, anticipating the quarterly earning reports. Once it reported, boom, gap up, and then we corrected ourselves. So it looks like it always corrects itself shortly after, right? Any reaction tends to be an overreaction. It's really good to note that. But as it's been on this green streak, it's been continuously gapping up. Now, we are relatively pretty close to previous highs, so we are very overbought in comparison to when we were very oversold. So that could be just another reason on why maybe we might not see a huge gap up. But again, I want to see if Meta talks about, which is going to have to highlight the different revenue streams that it's created with its verification badge on Instagram, as well as these new kind of like, I would say like side quests, like these goggles and glasses that they're coming out with and the revenue that they produce out of it. Because I know I purchased some. I'm excited to be able to film videos for you guys wearing those glasses. And if it's anything like they talked about, it should be pretty cool to see, right? So I'm very excited to see Meta report earnings today. As of right now, it's down 3.5%, but it being down is not necessarily the worst thing, because it being down, it's probably trying to factor something in advance because Google didn't do too hot yesterday. But by it being down means that maybe if it just comes in as expected or a little bit better than what is expected, it can cause it to not overreact, right? Even if it does sell off a little bit more, maybe it just won't be as bad based off of what is already factored in. Or if it does go up, then this can be a potential nice push. So I'm super, super excited to experience this with you guys, especially if you've never tuned on in to a earning reports. it's going to be very interesting because Meta has been killing it, right? Especially all of 2023. So we'll see if it continues for 4 consecutive gap ups for quarterly earning reports, or if this is going to be the pivot. Nonetheless, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. And again, it's free to watch. Feel free to tune on in. Again, I'm going to be live streaming it for free on this YouTube channel. Subscribe, drop a thumbs up to make sure you don't miss it. And it's going to be 1 hour from when this video is uploaded, right at market close. It's when they are going to announce earnings. And then the second part is the earnings call, which in my opinion is more important because that's where they talk about up and coming and future forecasts and expectation of what's to come for Meta. So very excited. Hope that earned your thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and I will see you in just a few minutes. If you have any questions, message me right now on Instagram, and that's the third link in the description down below. And again, don't forget to download the Webull trading application, and that's the fifth link in the description down below. We'll see you in a few minutes. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.